Imagine finding an old Australian 2-cent coin in a dusty drawer. What looks like pocket change could actually be a hidden treasure. Introduced in 1966 during Australia's shift to decimal currency, this humble bronze coin, designed by Stuart Devlin and featuring the iconic frilled-necked lizard, became a nostalgic symbol of Aussie childhoods and cultural identity. Beyond its artistic and historical value, the coin even connects to Aboriginal lore and played a role in the Sydney 2000 Olympics, where many were melted down to make bronze medals. Though no longer in circulation, some rare versions of the 2-cent coin are now worth far more than face value, making them highly prized by collectors and potentially life-changing discoveries. First up, 1971 Australian 2-cent coin. Let's begin our treasure hunt with a coin that often goes overlooked but holds immense potential for the sharp-eyed collector, the 1971 Australian 2-cent coin. While not as famously rare as some other dates, its journey from common change to a potential collector's prize is a story worth hearing. In 1971, Australia was still relatively new to its decimal currency system, having introduced it just 5 years prior. The coins were firmly established in daily life, but production figures and specific minting quirks from this era can hold hidden surprises for today's treasure hunters. The Royal Australian Mint produced over 60 million of these coins for circulation in 1971, to be precise, 60,735,000. While this might sound like a large number, remember that millions have been lost, damaged, or melted down over the decades, making pristine examples increasingly elusive and valuable. On the heads side of your 1971 coin, you'll find the elegant second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. Look closely at the details of her hair and the jewels on her crown. These are key areas that professional graders examine for signs of wear, which directly impacts a coin's value. A crisp, detailed portrait is a fantastic sign. Flip the coin, and you're greeted by Stuart Devlin's iconic frilled-necked lizard, frozen in its dynamic display. This artistic masterpiece captures the untamed spirit of Australia and is immediately recognizable to anyone who grew up with these coins. Pay special attention to the fine details of the lizard's frill, its mouth, and its claws. These are high points that show wear first, so sharpness here is a big plus. The 1971 2-cent coin, like all its counterparts, is made of a bronze alloy, 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It weighs 5.2 grams, has a diameter of 21.6 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.5 millimeters. These consistent specifications mean that any deviation from them could indicate a rare and valuable minting error. Now, why is the 1971 coin something to get excited about? While it doesn't have a specific widely known error like the no SD variety that applies to other years, the value truly lies in its condition. Finding a 1971 2-cent coin in uncirculated condition means it shows no trace of wear from being used in transactions. An uncirculated 1971 coin will still have its original mint luster, often described as a beautiful cartwheel effect when tilted in the light. These coins look almost as if they just came from the mint, and collectors absolutely adore them because they are so rare to find outside of original mint sets. Furthermore, while no specific, widely published, no mint mark variety is detailed for 1971 in the sources, as the query implies, other general minting errors such as double strikes, off-center designs, or incorrect metal compositions can occur on any year, and when they do, they can make a coin extraordinarily valuable. Imagine uncovering an unknown error from 1971 that makes your coin a unique rarity. Stories circulate among collectors of exceptional 1971 coins fetching significant sums. One source mentions that a 1971 coin was put up for sale for $1,000 to $1,500 Australian dollars, and another even suggests that some specific examples of 1971 coins, perhaps with unique characteristics, have been valued at around 10,000 Australian dollars in the collector's market. These are not your average finds, but they highlight the incredible potential. For any coin you think might be valuable, condition is king. Learning to spot the difference between fine, very fine, extremely fine, and uncirculated can be your secret weapon. The less wear on the highest points of the design, the more valuable your coin could be. If you believe you've found something truly special, like a pristine 1971 coin or one with an unusual anomaly, the next step is to seek professional certification. Companies like PCGS or NGC offer crucial services. They authenticate your coin, ensuring it's genuine, and then assign a precise, standardized numerical grade. A professionally certified coin commands a much higher price and trust in the market. So, before you dismiss that old jar of coins, take a moment to carefully check your 1971 Australian 2-cent pieces. Look for that gleaming luster, that sharp detail, or any unusual features. You might just be holding a small piece of history that is, for the right collector, worth a truly remarkable fortune. The thrill of the hunt for these hidden gems is absolutely real. Next up, 1980 Australian 2-cent coin. Now, let's turn our attention to another captivating year in the history of the Australian 2-cent coin, 1980. This year holds a special place in the collector's world, not just for its beauty, but for the astonishing values some of its rare variants have achieved. In 1980, the Royal Australian Mint produced a significant number of 2-cent coins for circulation, totaling 145,603,000. While many were made, the unique circumstances surrounding some of these coins, especially those with specific anomalies or in pristine condition, make them exceptionally valuable today. The obverse of the 1980 coin features the same second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, a familiar and regal depiction that had graced Australian currency for years. This image, showing her wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, is a testament to the continuity of the Commonwealth era. On the reverse, Stuart Devlin's iconic frilled-necked lizard remains the powerful centerpiece. This design, full of energy and movement, has become one of the most beloved images in Australian coinage, symbolizing the country's unique wildlife. Every detail, from the flared frill to the open mouth, contributes to its enduring appeal. What truly sets the 1982 cent coin apart for collectors is its connection to a significant period in Australian history. This coin was actually part of a special series minted to celebrate Australia's 200th anniversary. This historical theme, tied to a pivotal moment of national pride, adds another layer of desirability for collectors worldwide. But here's where the true treasure hunt for 1980 coins begins: minting errors and rare varieties. While most 1982 cent coins are common, a handful of rare variants can command astronomical prices. For instance, the no mint mark varieties for 1980 are considered a holy grail for collectors, with one such coin fetching over 250,000 Australian dollars at a Sydney auction in 2021. Imagine the excitement of finding a coin with no mint mark, where there absolutely should be one. These anomalies were usually accidental, but they create a unique story and an unparalleled rarity that collectors are willing to pay fortunes for. It proves that even the smallest oversight at the mint can create a life-changing treasure decades later. Beyond the missing mint mark, other spectacular errors can turn a 1982 cent coin into a fortune. Look out for double strikes, where the coin was struck more than once, leaving a ghostly double image, off-center designs, where the image is not perfectly centered, or even coins struck on wrong planchets, for example, accidentally on a 1-cent blank. In one truly astonishing case, a 1982 cent coin missing the Queen's portrait entirely, a bizarre off-center strike, sold for a jaw-dropping 1.2 million Australian dollars in a private sale. The buyer, a billionaire collector, described it as the most unique error he had ever seen. This incredible story proves that the potential for wealth in these coins is very real. Another powerful example comes from a Melbourne grandmother who, by sheer chance, found a 1982 cent coin in her late husband's toolbox. She nearly put it into a coin-counting machine, but a last-minute online search saved her from a costly mistake. That coin, which was graded MS67 red, the highest possible quality, sold at auction for an astounding 890,000 Australian dollars. Experts believe only 5 or 6 exist in that pristine condition. This incredible story perfectly illustrates that the lesson is clear: never underestimate the coins jingling in your pocket or collecting dust in your attic. Your intuition to check might lead to an unimaginable fortune. The condition of your 1980 coin is paramount, especially when hunting for these rare varieties. Even if it's not an error, a coin with a full, untouched frill on the lizard can be worth 10 times more than a worn one. Look for that original mint luster and sharp details, as collectors globally are eager to secure the last of these legendary pieces. The demand for these coins is surging, driven by both collectors and investors looking for unique assets. The competition for rare 1982-cent coins is growing fiercer, leading to skyrocketing valuations. This trend indicates that these coins will only become more valuable over time, making them a smart investment for those lucky enough to find them. So, before you dismiss that old coin jar, take a very close look at your 1980 Australian 2-cent coins. Check the year, inspect for any missing mint marks, look for double strikes, off-center designs, or missing elements. Your million-dollar moment could be hiding in plain sight, waiting for you to uncover its secret. Next up, 1981 Australian 2-cent coin. Get ready, because the next coin we're exploring is a true standout in the world of Australian numismatics, the 1981 Australian 2-cent coin. While millions of these were minted, there's a specific, elusive error that can turn this seemingly common coin into a highly valuable treasure. The year 1981 saw a massive production of Australian 2-cent coins, with a staggering 249,274,000 released for circulation. This makes the 1981 2-cent coin one of the most common years you'll encounter in old collections or bulk lots. However, it's precisely this high mintage that makes the specific error we're looking for even more exceptional and desirable. Just like the earlier years, the 1981 2-cent coin features the dignified second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin on its obverse. This familiar image, with the Queen wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, represents a consistent artistic standard for Australia's currency during this period. On the reverse, Stuart Devlin's iconic frilled-necked lizard continues to capture the essence of Australia's unique wildlife. The dynamic pose and intricate details of the lizard are central to the coin's appeal, but for the 1981 coin, it's what might be missing from this design that counts the most. The ultimate prize for 1981 Australian 2-cent coin collectors is a specific error known as the No SD variety. SD stands for Stuart Devlin, the master artist who designed the coin's reverse. His initials are typically found just below the lizard's belly, near its front feet. On a small, unknown number of 1,981 coins, these crucial initials are completely missing. This isn't just a result of a weak strike or dirt filling the die. Numismatists widely believe the initials were actually omitted from the die used to strike these coins. This makes it a true, sought-after variety, not just a random production flaw. The exact cause of the No SD error remains a mystery, adding to its allure. But what we do know is that finding a 1981 coin with this error is a significant discovery, especially considering how many standard 1981 coins were produced. This contrast between the common mintage and the rare error makes the No SD variety particularly exciting. So, how valuable is a 1981 No SD 2-cent coin? While a standard circulated 1981 coin might only be worth a few Australian dollars, a genuine No SD example can fetch much more. Even in circulated condition, these coins can sell for 10 to 20 Australian dollars. But the true value soars for coins in higher grades. An almost uncirculated AUNC or uncirculated UNC 1981 No SD can be worth 75 Australian dollars or more. Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, graded examples have sold for between 395 and 595 Australian dollars, depending on their condition. Some reports even suggest sales figures reaching 700 Australian dollars for pristine examples. To spot this hidden gem, you'll need good lighting and, ideally, a magnifying glass. Carefully examine the area just below the lizard's body, between its front feet, where the SD initials should be. A genuine No SD coin will show absolutely no trace of these initials, not just a worn-down area. Be cautious of coins that appear to have been deliberately scratched or worn down in that area to mimic the error. A true No SD will have a smooth, consistent surface where the initials should be, indicating they were never there in the first place. The thrill of finding a No SD 1981 coin is immense precisely because they were produced in such large numbers, meaning many are still out there, potentially hiding in your old coin jars. It's a fantastic example of how a tiny detail can transform a common piece of currency into a significant collector's item. The 1981 No SD variety is the most common of the No SD errors, which also occur on 1967 and 1968 coins, but it remains incredibly valuable and sought after by collectors. Its accessibility, combined with its clear error, makes it a perfect target for anyone starting their treasure hunt. So, take a moment, grab a magnifying glass, and go through your 1981 Australian 2-cent coins. You might just uncover a highly desirable No SD variety, a tangible piece of Australian minting history that could bring you a very pleasant surprise. It's a rewarding hunt, and the next great find could be yours. Next up, 1983 Australian 2-cent coin. Our final stop on this thrilling journey through Australia's 2-cent coins brings us to the 1983 Australian 2-cent coin. This coin, often considered a later issue before the series was discontinued, has become a sleeping giant in the collecting world, with some incredible stories of astounding value attached to it. In 1983, the Royal Australian Mint produced 177,227,000 2-cent coins for circulation. This period was among the final years these coins were regularly minted for general use, anticipating their eventual withdrawal from circulation. This historical context subtly adds to their appeal for collectors today. The obverse of the 1983 coin continues to feature the second portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin, a familiar and dignified image that collectors instantly recognize. This portrait, showing the Queen wearing the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, adds a touch of regal elegance to every coin. On the reverse, Stuart Devlin's iconic frilled-necked lizard remains the captivating design element. Described as a miniature masterpiece, the lizard, with its dramatic frill and poised stance, symbolizes the wild, untamed spirit of Australia. It's a design that resonates deeply with Australian heritage. What makes the 1983 2-cent coin truly special is a fascinating twist in its mintage history. While many were produced, a significant number of these coins were actually made in anticipation of later usage and were stored in reserve. Tragically, millions of these coins were eventually destroyed without ever seeing the light of day. This mass destruction means that the small number of 1,983 coins that did escape, especially those in top condition, have become increasingly scarce and highly sought after by collectors, who now hunt them like buried gold. It's a testament to how past decisions can inadvertently create future treasures. But the real magic for the 1983 2-cent coin lies in its error varieties. Even more fascinating are the freak accidents that occurred during production, creating unique anomalies that are nearly impossible to replicate. Look closely for signs of these rare errors on your 1983 coins. Collectors seek out specific errors such as off-center strikes, where the design is noticeably off-kilter, clipped planchets, where a piece of the coin blank is missing, and even die cracks, which can create ghostly distortions across the Queen's face or the lizard's frill. These errors are incredibly rare and highly prized. In an astounding example, a particularly stunning 1983 2-cent error coin, featuring a double strike and misalignment, was auctioned in 2022 for over 45,000 Australian dollars. This sale astonished numismatists worldwide, proving the immense value that such accidental rarities can achieve. Adding to the allure of the 1983 coin are whispers among numismatic circles of a lost version, or a test strike. This rumored coin is believed to have been an early test strike for a proposed bicentennial design that was never officially released but might have been distributed among mint staff or government insiders. If such a coin were to ever resurface, experts believe it could easily command a value in the millions of Australian dollars, potentially rivaling Australia's most legendary rare coins. Imagine the sheer excitement of discovering a coin that could instantly change your life beyond your wildest dreams. The stories of ordinary people stumbling upon these fortunes are not just fantasies, they are real. Consider the case of a Melbourne schoolteacher who found a near-pristine 1983 2-cent coin among her late grandfather's belongings. Thinking it was just sentimental junk, she nearly gave it away. However, a local dealer noticed an unusual raised rim on the coin and suggested she get it appraised. The final sale price at a Sydney auction? An incredible 127,000 Australian dollars. That humble coin's unique error and flawless luster elevated it from mere copper scrap to a luxury asset. This amazing story is a powerful reminder that the line between pocket change and financial independence is often thinner than you think. So, don't rush to cash in your old coins at face value. One misjudged decision or a hastily sold heirloom could be the difference between a few cents and a six-figure windfall, or even more. The condition of your 1983 coin is paramount. As seen in the Melbourne schoolteacher story, a flawless luster and near pristine condition, even with a specific error, is key to achieving such staggering values. Every detail matters when hunting for these treasures. So, it's time to dig into your drawers, rummage through those old coin folders, and take a very close look at your 1983 Australian 2-cent pieces. This coin, with its noble queen and fierce frilled dragon, might not look like much, but in the world of numismatics, it truly is a sleeping giant with life-changing potential. The next multi-million-dollar discovery could be just inches away, and it might have already passed through your hands. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the journey through the Australian 2-cent coin is a remarkable microcosm of our nation's history, culture, and, yes, incredible financial opportunity. What started as a bold symbol of a new, decimal-based identity and served as a pocket money staple has now transformed into a sought-after collectible with the potential for truly significant value. The thrill of the hunt for these small treasures is undeniably real. Stories abound of everyday Australians discovering these valuable pieces in the most unexpected places, tucked away in old drawers, found under carpets, or rattling around in vintage purses. The possibility that a piece of common change could be a rare prize is a powerful motivator for any aspiring collector, and a reminder that fortune can sometimes be found in the most unexpected places. Remember, the value of these coins is driven by a combination of factors: their inherent rarity, the presence of unique minting errors, their historical significance, and the intense demand from collectors worldwide. Even if a coin isn't worth millions, it still holds sentimental and historical value, making it a cherished piece of your collection and a tangible link to our past. If you believe you have found a potentially valuable Australian 2-cent coin, especially from the years we've discussed today, 1971, 1980, 1981, or 1983, it is crucial to get it professionally appraised before making any decisions about selling it. Many people unknowingly sell their rare coins for a fraction of their actual value only to later discover they could have made a fortune. Professional numismatists and reputable coin dealers can help authenticate your coin, assess its rarity, and determine its true market value. Don't ever rush to sell a potentially valuable coin without first understanding its worth, as you could be missing out on a life-changing opportunity. The world of rare coin collecting is rich with stories and opportunities, but it requires dedication and expertise to navigate successfully. For collectors, the joy of numismatics often lies in the pursuit of knowledge and the thrill of the hunt, knowing that every coin has a story to tell. So, before you dismiss that old coin jar as loose change, take a much closer look. Check the dates carefully, focusing on 1967, 1968, 1981 for the famous no SD error, and consider the potential of the 1971, 1980, and 1983 coins we've explored today. Get a magnifying glass and hunt for those tiny details or missing initials.